When watching one of my favourite whiskey YouTube channels, Scotch for Dummies, they would often reference an affection for the Naked Grouse. Now, I'd never heard of it, I'd never seen it, and I just shrugged and moved on, at least for a while anyway. And then I spotted this in Dan Murphy's. And I thought, well, that's a similar sounding name. The Naked Malt, Blended Malt, Scotch Whisky. And then, after a bit of digging, I learned that it's actually the same thing. Well, okay then. Let's see what she's got, shall we? This is Whiskey. I'm John Chidgey. Always remember to drink responsibly, in moderation, and where and when appropriate. Feel free to like and subscribe if you're watching this on YouTube, and visit engineer.network/whiskey, without the E, to learn how you can support the show. Thank you. In 2018, Edrington Group relaunched the Naked Grouse into the Australian market. However, in 2021, the Naked Grouse was renamed the Naked Malt worldwide. And that's what this is here. And it has been that ever since. And a quick point of clarification, a blended malt used to be called a vatted malt, or even a pure malt. Now, examples of this were the Johnnie Walker Green Label's original name, the Pure Malt, but in 2009, the Scotch Whisky Association, in their infinite wisdom, just decided to prohibit those two names for whiskies made in this style. Whatever. This bottle costs $73.99 Australian for the 700ml bottle size like this from Dan Murphy's. But then again, it's also regularly on special for about the mid $60 mark. It has no age statement, has a 40% ABV, and it is chill filtered. And one site in Germany claims that it is coloured, and another claims that it isn't. So I guess we don't really know. Probably is. It doesn't matter. It's considered to be one of their core range products and has its own website. But in researching this, I found out that on the 23rd of September 2024, the 1887 company, a subsidiary of Edrington that technically owned the Naked Grouse malt, whatever you want to call it, brand, they've reached an agreement to sell the brand to William Grant and Sons. Now, I can't find anything more recent at the time of researching and recording to confirm if this was given regulatory approval or not, but either way, expect websites to get updated at some point and stickers to be tweaked a little bit. I guess we'll just have to see what happens. The blend itself is said to be a combination of single malts from Macallan, Highland Park, Glenturret, and Glenrothes. All that sounds potentially pretty good, but why do they call it Naked? The name seems to come from the fact that it's finished in ex-Oloroso sherry seasoned first fill casks, meaning they've never held a whiskey before, hence the naked bit. Honestly, it's a bit weird to me, but they took it and ran with it, so hey. Their whole ethos in marketing then circles around this naked theme. The bottle has small and mostly clear labels on it, and the bottle it makes the bottle look almost transparent, and hence naked as well. I mean, why not? Yeah, it's kind of cool. The Naked Malt page on Edrington has the following to say about the Naked Malt. Blended malts are introduced to sherry seasoned casks and left for a minimum of 6 years, or when we're happy that it's ready. Okay. There's actually a bit more than that, but that's the only good bit. Interestingly, the official Naked Malt website says, "Convention says we need tasting notes, but we'd rather let you decide." But, funnily enough, the Edrington Group website at the moment still does have tasting notes. And here is what it says. The colour, full golden, deep russet, clear and bright. On the nose, well-balanced oak, sherry with a citrus hint, buttery toffee, malty, orchid fruits. On the palate, medium full flavour, mature, space-side fruitiness. And on the finish, a good length, clean, and medium dry. A medium dry finish. Cool. I could not help my curiosity on this one. I've had this for a few weeks, and I've had a glass of it or two. Actually, just two. So the colour on that, I'd say that's almost like a burnished copper colour. It is a little bit darker, but we're not sure if it's coloured or not. And as for the legs, there are some legs forming slowly. They slow to start, but then they pick up pace, and they're pretty thick, and there's a few of them. But we also know it's chill filtered, so there is that. All right, let's see what we got on the nose. Oh, malty, malt. You'd hope so. It's a blended malt. I mean, really. Man, I can smell buttery. Buttery toffee is a perfect way of putting it. I can smell that butteriness to it, eh? And there's definitely a nice sherry punch to it. It's definitely Oloroso sherry. Not quite Macallan level, not quite Glendronach Tamdhu kind of sherry, but certainly sherry. And honestly, it's probably one of the more sherried scotches in the lower price brackets. Normally you don't get that kind of a nose on something that's under $100, I'll be honest. All right, let's have a crack. That is not bad at all. Reasonably yummy, actually. I mean, really. Mouthfeel on it, I gotta be honest, it is still a little bit thin. The nose suggests it's gonna be buttery, but if I'm honest, it's not really that buttery to my taste. I'm trying to chew on it, but I can't quite. It's not quite chewy enough. It is lingering, it's sticking around, but not in a chewy kind of way. Like that aftertaste, that lingering finish is like I can breathe that sherry on the finish, which is kind of delightful, to be honest. Little bit of burn, a little bit of oaky burn on it. It's really pleasant, actually. I can see why people rave about this, actually, because when you think about it for the price, I mean, that is quite a mature, decent Scotch. Like, honestly. I know it's a blend, but my God. Just going back on the nosing again, and yeah, no, I'm just getting that much stronger sherry on the second nosing. It's quite pronounced. It really is lovely. If you like a good sherry finish, Oloroso sherry, I'm getting that. It's pretty good. Let's have another go. The orchid fruits bit, I think, is a stretch. I'm not finding it. The citrus on it, I would say it is a very faint orange. There's a very faint orange citrus angle to it, but that sherry is just quite delightful. I mean, and that finish, I like breathing out on that finish and getting that sherry note as you're breathing out. It's just a lovely finish. Having said that, it's probably about moderate length. I wouldn't say it's super long. It's also not short, so somewhere in the middle, which is pretty good, again, considering the price. But I guess the real question I've got is, I mean, it is a blended malt, and sometimes I find with these blends, it's like it's not as balanced as it could be. If I'm blunt, I think it's got a couple of edges to it, which I don't mind, but some people might be put off by it. Not me though. All right, no, I am not minding this. All right, so let's rate this puppy, shall we? So for the cost, first of all, it's a 1. It is actually, it's quite affordable, which is great. The price is right for this baby. On the quality, easily a 2. And honestly, hang on a second. Yeah, that's a 3. I'm giving that a 3. It's a low 3, but it's still a 3. I genuinely do. I mean, it is a nice drink, considering, like, all things considered. Like, if I were to do a blind test between this and something else, it would end up as a 3. I am absolutely confident. Like, I always try to separate cost from quality. It's hard, but I'm trying. And I genuinely think that this is a go-to pleasant drink. And it does make me smile. It is very pleasant. So at that price, and being a 3 for quality, that makes it a green, and it's a solid green. This is a decent Scotch. And honestly, yeah, I mean, I almost don't care which distilleries they say it comes from. They put together a very nice blend. And honestly, the maltiness is something, if you really like a good strong malt, this is definitely going to deliver. So honestly, thank you. Naked Grouse, Naked Malt, Naked whatever, don't care. This is some seriously good stuff. If you haven't got a bottle, if you haven't tried it, give it a shot. You may just be pleasantly surprised. And with that, cheers, everybody. We'll see you next time. Not too bad at all. Grouse, malt, naked thing. Whatever.